Celtics to claim the NBA championship. And that's the latest from Feature Story News. Giles Gibson reporting.
Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7. You've got Scott and Michelle with you this morning. We're waiting for our third. Maybe Phillip slept in. Maybe he missed his alarm. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning. How are you doing all the way on the other side of the country?
Oh, man. I got the same weather and the same weather blues as you guys do. Also, quick note, I think we have our banner up that says we'll be right back. And ladies and gentlemen, we are here.
That's not supposed to be up. Why is that up?
And we got you live on Facebook. We've got you live on Twitch and YouTube for you phone folks. And, of course, on 102.7 FM at KCHW Chihuahua. All right, thanks for being with us this morning. As we get started, we always do that thing where we start off our weather, and we kind of got a big weekend. Things happening, Father's Day, and then summer solstice is starting. We'll talk about that too. 77 for your high in Chihuahua today with cloudy skies. High humidity at 55%. Is it a little sticky, Michelle?
Oh my gosh, it's like pea soup. Everywhere I go, it's like I just got out of the shower. I'm like, oh, am I sweaty or is it, no, just the air. The air is sweaty. It's great.
Well, we're close enough to the ocean where we always kind of have that high humidity here. So it can be like 75, and especially indoors, it feels kind of sticky and stuffy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost a daily occurrence here.
Do you at least have a breeze from the water?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to have more than a breeze today. I'll share that in a second, too. For you in Chihuahua, though, 41% chance of rain tonight with a low of 54 and light winds. For your weekend, it's looking kind of the same. Now, Saturday's not too bad. Morning clouds, afternoon sun, with just a 25% chance of rain. Daytime high, though, on Saturday, only up to 63. Overnight low of 47. Sunday, 64 and 50 with showers at 40%. And Monday right now, morning showers with a daytime high of 70. I'm looking forward to some big storms here in Lincoln. 75 for our Friday is our high, but thunderstorms are going to develop this afternoon. When I lived in Chihuahua, always scared of the thunderstorms and the problems they brought for the tower, as you've experienced over the past few weeks.
Yes.
But I can totally enjoy it here, go outside with my kite and my metal key.
Oh, shocking.
I have done stupid things like that before, just saying. 70% chance of rain for me today here in Lincoln. 53 for an overnight low with a 50% chance of rain and more thunderstorms tonight. It's going to be a stormy night. As these storms blow through, we're expected to get some very high winds too. Now get this. If you guys think you've been having some strange weather, Saturday, we haven't seen 50s in several weeks. It's going to drop all the way down to 57 and continue to rain. And then Sunday, our daytime high here in Lincoln, Maine, is 48. 48. That's a winter
my gosh,
weather.
That's crazy. Well, maybe it'll kill off some of those bugs.
Yeah. I hope so.
Try to look on the bright side.
Yeah. They've been a little better. I think I mentioned maybe you weren't on one of the shows, but dragonflies came out, super thick, and they've been gobbling down all the bugs. So I can tell now every spring you're going to be going, come on, dragonflies, because
Right.
they're about a month behind the other bugs, but they're having a feast. So that's very
Can you
nice.
get those on Amazon?
Dragonflies?
Yeah, just I just need to get a couple thousand of them. Just let them loose in my yard.
Deliver them to my place at the lake, right?
Yeah, please. Airdrop dragonflies. And I would
Yeah.
really love to see the fireflies you were talking about. That's one of the things like on my bucket list I want to see before I kick off of this rock.
We have a thing where we go out because the kids live right beside me, where we go out in the evenings after it gets dark and visit and watch them for a few minutes because it's pretty cool. There's a couple fields right next to us, and it's really calming and very pretty. Not now if people have been somewhere like Indiana when the cornfields are up in the summer, the fireflies go crazy and they're just thick. So it's more sporadic and spread out here, but there's plenty of them to see. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
And the dragonflies, I've never seen dragonflies in an area where they're actually thick. You know, we see them around there, one or two flying around. But here, they got lots of food, I guess, because there's a ton of them. It's pretty amazing.
Wow.
All right, enough of that kind of stuff. We got our weather out of the way. Let's talk about summer solstice, one of the things happening this weekend. Usually when someone complains that it's been a long day, it was a day that felt long. But on June 20th, which, what day is that, Monday? Yeah, that's Monday. That's my birthday, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah. It's more than a figure of speech. So on Monday, it's really the longest day of the year in terms of daylight. It is the day they call summer solstice. Really important to pagans. In Chicago, for example, there are more than 15 hours of daylight. In Alaska,
Wow.
the sun drops down to the horizon for about 2 hours before it chases away the twilight to start the day already again. It'd be so weird to live in a place like that, where it's daylight all the time in the summer. It'd make it tough to sleep.
That'd be another interesting one to see before I kick off this planet.
You
That and the
put that-
Northern Lights.
You put that in your bucket list.
Yes.
You know, you can catch them sometimes in Chihuahua. If you hear they're going to happen, a great spot is to go to the Mormon church outside of town.
Really?
And their very back parking lot, if you park there and you face kind of kitty corner to the left toward the mountains, you can see the northern lights peeking above that ridge line that probably divides us kind of from Canada and stuff. You can see them up there pretty well sometimes. So that's a place
Nice.
locally where you can watch them because they don't appear very often in Washington, but they do. All right, let's see. Legend says it's the day when the sun stands still. That's actually what the word solstice means. It comes from the Latin word sol, meaning sun, and sistera, meaning to cause to stand still. As the solstice approaches, you can see the noonday sun rise higher and higher in the sky each day. On the day of the solstice, however, it rises an imperceptible amount compared to the day before, and it seems to stop. Mystics throughout the centuries believe the solstice was a time of light and fire. Many cultures saw it as a time to reflect upon the growth of the season. It has often been seen as a time of renewal for love. Also, no wonder people want to get married in June. All right, first full moon after the solstice has also been considered special. That moon this year on June 22nd is called the honey moon. Not one word, but two. It got its name from the fermented honey drink offered at marriage ceremonies, and I should know what that's called. Honey wine. There's a special
Oh,
name
is that
for it.
mead?
It'll come to me. All right, and then of course Sunday, big day for dads. Always sad if your dad's not with us. Mine passed several years ago. You still have a father around, Michelle?
I do. Yeah, by the grace of the powers that be. He had a pretty
Excellent.
gnarly heart attack a couple years ago, but he made it through, and very, very glad to have him still around.
Just in time for Father's Day, a few tweets from dads. All right. 82% of parenting is to make sure your kids don't do something fatal today.
Yes, to themselves or someone else.
I've always worried about that with my kids too. All right. Never thought fatherhood would place me on the top of a ladder getting a diaper that has gotten caught in a ceiling fan. Oh,
just
man,
hope
that's
it's a
bad.
clean one.
Another one. What's the difference between a zombie and the father of a newborn? Not much at this point. Fatherhood is 80% trying not to get kicked, elbowed, kneed, or punched in the groin by your own child.
Yeah.
Oh, wild toddlers. Oh. I never enjoyed, especially, so I was lucky. I had two girls. But I never really enjoyed going to a friend's house that had a toddler boy. Because after raising a couple girls, and I did one by myself as a single dad, little boys got way too much energy. I feel sorry for everything I did as a child to my parents because
Gosh.
little boys are crazy, and they're great at that. I'm going to run across the room and dive in your lap.
Or, and then 2 seconds later, I'm on the arm of the couch trying to head plant into the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although girls can do that stuff too. I remember my daughter was jumping on the bed, and I was there to protect her, and she wanted a drink. I said, okay, no jumping on the bed as I'm gone, okay? She says, okay. And I go to get the drink of water, and I could see all the way down the hallway into her bedroom. And as I'm filling up the water glass, I see her jump on the bed and do like the 180 in the air and land face first on the floor.
Yep.
And broke her collarbone. I could tell as minute as I picked her up and rolled her over, she had a broken collarbone. It was obvious. All right. Let's see. At this stage, parenting is mostly a long string of accidentally saving your child's life.
Yeah. Yeah.
More truths about fatherhood in time for Father's Day. Teaching my kids to eat healthy is basically me saying, it's too late for me. Save yourself. I'm going to eat all those cookies, basically, is what that translates to.
Right. Yeah.
If you want to see a father's true rage, ask him to find some matching kid socks in a dryer full of clean laundry.
My husband would be like, I don't care what socks you wear as long as they're not mine. He's got like the little short little ankle socks, and my daughter just thinks that it's the best thing ever to wear dad's socks because they're so small, They look so small, and she's like, how does he stretch them over his feet? Doesn't make sense to her, so she's like, I'm just gonna wear them. And he's like, why are they always wearing my socks? I'm like, I pick my battles. What do you want from me?
All right, one of the biggest lies we tell our kids is, wow, you're a really good artist. And dads, remember that one because you're probably going to get some pictures with hearts on them and stuff for Father's Day. There you go. I always love that. My kids are blown away that I saved all that stuff because I think that's a thing guys don't usually do. And they're still on the fridge.
Nice.
So, Dad, would you take that down? That's embarrassing. Nope, not going to happen. All right. I guess it kind of goes along with Dad's. Michelle has got a whole line of jokes for guys this morning. Michelle,
yes.
Do you have those popped up and ready where you
I
can
do.
share them, or should I move somewhere else?
Oh, I'm good. I've got
You're good?
it.
All right. Jokes about dads with Michelle Williams, or I guess guys in general. Yeah.
Right.
What's wrong with us men, Michelle?
Well, Scott, what's not wrong? Let's make a shorter list.
Oh, ow.
All right. I got a question for you.
Okay.
When is it much better to be a woman than a man?
When?
When you are in the lavatory and the plane hits turbulence. It's not a sprinkler system, I swear.
It's not a problem for the guy. It's a problem for the next person that uses the bathroom.
Or whoever has to clean it.
Yeah, that too. Which is probably the next person that's got to use it.
Which brings us directly to the next one.
Okay.
What's the difference between government bonds and men?
Government bonds and men. One's more valuable? I don't know.
One matures and one doesn't.
Oh, this is true. This is true.
At least E.T. phoned home. Maybe just once, but he did it.
Well, now you can put a tracker on our phone so you know where we are all the time.
Oh,
And you could zoom in on the GPS and go, oh my God, he's at the bar.
Funny story. When my husband was working over in North Dakota, we have an app, that shows where we're driving and everything so that I would know when he was getting close to Spokane so I could pick him up from the train. And he'd message me, and I'd open up the little app thing, and I'm like, where are you right now? I'm just out having dinner. I'm like, what is such and such place? So I busted him a couple times with that, but he's a good guy, though. He wasn't doing nothing bad. He wasn't
dinner at the bar.
Yeah, he wasn't in too much trouble. But, what do you call a handcuffed man?
I don't know.
Trustworthy.
For a moment.
You ain't doing nothing without these keys. Why are men like blenders?
I don't know.
You need one, but you're not quite sure why.
Oh, ouch, Michelle. Ouch.
No, I love smoothies, so I know exactly why I need mine. Well, I really wish Phillip was here. I wanted to make fun of him.
Do it anyway.
Him being single, the only time he thinks about a candlelit dinner is when the power goes off.
I need a candle and I'm hungry.
And someone to share the darkness with.
That's why I have a cat.
So women, we dream of world peace, a safe environment, and eliminating hunger. What do men dream of, Scott?
Women?
Close. Being stuck in the elevator with the Spice Girls.
Same thing. Same thing, just a lot more dancing.
Right. And you get singing, too, whether you want it or not.
I'd start doing that cats and boots and cats and boots
Yes.
and cats and boots if I was stuck in the elevator.
Oh, my son does that. It's great. What do you give a man who has everything?
A lawnmower? I don't know.
Penicillin. Especially after the Spice Girls.
Oh, man. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah. It's a good thing we do this show in the morning. 'Cause,
Yeah?
men only get half an hour lunch breaks, so their bosses don't have to retrain them.
Oh, ow. This is like a blonde joke.
Well, I know, but you know why blonde jokes are all one-liners?
Why?
So men can remember them.
Oh, and it works that way too, doesn't it?
And that wraps up our
All right.
jabbing on men for the moment.
All right. Michelle Williams with man jokes. All right. Kind of in the same vein, what turns a woman on? All right. This is very important. I'm taking notes. That's how I came up with these. Intelligence. I'm in trouble right there. A sense of humor. Maybe. Although I think there's some women that don't enjoy my sense of humor. Passion, consideration, honesty, flexibility, serenity. There's something alluring about a man with a positive look on life. Balance, all work and no play, makes Johnny a lonely boy. Ambition and attentiveness. And then it says traits that rate with men. Believe it or not, up at the top, personality. At number 2, brains. So you wouldn't think guys would put them in this order, would you? Number 3 is beauty. Number 4 is a sense of humor. Apparently not that important to most guys. I think it is because I want them to be able to laugh at me and feel comfortable with that.
Well, I think especially as we get older, a sense of humor is definitely a necessity because life throws you curveballs, and a lot of them are like in your knees and your hips. Like if you can't laugh at yourself falling apart, you're going to be in trouble.
Oh, man, I hate falling apart.
Me too.
All right, that kind of goes along with number 5 here is attitude. That's what you're talking about. Body was way down at 6. 7 is drive, and at 8 was a sense of adventure. All right. This one sounds like a good studio experiment. And I advise people in cars not to do this, but if you're just sitting around the house, this could be a fun one. All right. It says close your eyes and lift 1 foot off the ground. The longer you can stand on one leg without falling, the better your brain is functioning. So this is kind of like an age test right here, Michelle.
Oh, boy.
All right. This is according to Dr. Michael Rosen, co-author of the book, You, the Owner's Manual. All right. It says if you can close your eyes and lift 1 foot off the ground. I wish we had somebody doing this in the studio right now. 28 seconds is good for folks between 20 and 30 years of age. 23 seconds is good for people of age 31 to 40. 15 seconds is good for people ages 41 to 60. And if you're over 60, do not try this at home. You can tip and break a hip. Sorry.
Not without a spotter.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're over 60, you're going to need a spotter.
To stand on 1 foot.
Yes. All right. Before we move on to bits and breaks this morning, still no Phillip showing up, huh?
No? I mean...
Wow. Just send out an alarm. All right, a couple news headlines we can share this morning. This was at the top of Yahoo News. GOP Democratic Senator bargainers divided over gun deal details. Democratic and Republican senators were at odds yesterday over how to keep firearms from dangerous people as bargainers struggled to finalize the deals of a gun violence compromise in time for their self-imposed deadline of holding votes in Congress next week. Lawmakers said they remain divided over how to define abusive dating partners who would be legally barred from purchasing firearms. Disagreements were also unresolved over proposals to send money to states that have red flag laws that let authorities temporarily confiscate guns from people deemed dangerous by courts, and to other states for their own violence prevention programs. This seems like a no-brainer to me. These are like good reasons to take guns away from somebody, I think. You know?
Yeah. I think couple that with like excessive drug crimes.
The only thing I could think is maybe, and I don't know, is maybe there's some kind of criteria where you can go through some anger management classes and get your gun rights back. But yeah, hitting people is not good, no matter what the situation.
Right.
Election year talks have seemed headed toward agreement, with both parties fearing punishment by voters if Congress doesn't react to the carnage of the last month's mass shootings. A total of 31 people were slain at a grocery store in Buffalo. And then, of course, the horrible, horrible situation at the elementary school in Uvalde, Texas. Let's see. President Joe Biden, outline of the deal has been endorsed by Biden, Chuck Schumer, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Senator John Cronin of Texas, a lead GOP bargainer, seemed visibly unhappy as he left yesterday's closed-door session after nearly 2 hours, saying he was flying home. He said, "This is the hardest part because at some point you just have to make a decision. And when people don't want to make a decision, you can't accomplish the result." And he says, that's where we are right now. He said, "I'm frustrated, I'm done, and I'm going home for the weekend." He says he will come back and negotiate some more. But apparently, they got some good ideas, but nobody wanted to sign off on them.
Well, and I think in cases like this, like it's really important too to take a look at the mental health factor, because I know a lot of people, and people can do and say things when they're angry that are completely horrible, but like it takes a special kind of I'm messed up to unload on an elementary school.
Yeah.
I'm not
totally.
like that's just beyond terrible, and you can't really just be like, "Oh, well, we just need to take guns away from or limit people's access to guns," because it's so much more than that. Like it's so much more than that. You can't button it down with just that.
And how do you know the next person that's going to snap?
Well, I think it really, like I said, it comes down to we need to be paying a lot more attention to the mental health crisis in this country. Like it's so widespread, and there's so many different levels and gray shades of people's mental problems that we need to take some time and like really figure out how to help these people, like, and not just people that are acting out in violence, but the many shades that lead to those kinds of things, I think.
Yeah, and a large amount of the shooters have been under 21, from some of these mass shootings. So there's a sign right there that the gun ages need to be raised. We don't let people drink until they're 21. We don't let them smoke till they're 21. Is it 18 for smoking cigarettes, or is it 21?
No, they moved it to 21.
Okay, so they don't let you smoke till you're 21. You don't get to smoke pot till you're 21 in a lot of states now. But we're going to let you go in and buy guns at 18. I'm totally cool with that being changed to 21 because you should have some adult supervision when you're using a firearm.
And I can agree to that, but at the same time, then they need to move the date to when they're going to take kids and put them in the military to 21.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still
I can
just
totally
babies.
agree with that because I personally, I would have never been mature enough to go into the service at 18. And you say, well, 21's not that much difference, but you're not progressing far enough. And I don't want to bash on military because, I love the people that have served our country and stuff. But I saw it in my own parent, the scars from World War II. And the racism that came out of being in that kind of situation, and he went in at like 17. I think he lied was the story, and got into the service because you could do things that they weren't, tracking who you were very well back in the 40s. So it left a lifetime scar on him, and maybe if he would have been a little more older and a little more experienced when he went into something like that, it would have made a difference. I don't know. But I think there are some scars that can come away with that. And his was a racism against Asians, because he was thrown into that whole thing with Japan, and he never let it go. So there's a lot of different aspects, I think, where people are underserved by mental health programs in our country, and how do you spot the person that's going to snap and go out and shoot a bunch of people at a concert or a grocery store, and like you said, how unhinged? You think you'd be able to pick them out of a crowd? Somebody unhinged enough to go do it at a school? Right. That's horrific.
And I think one of the biggest things that we need to do, like as a society, is like take the stigma away from talking about it. Like, people don't want to tell other people, like, hey, I'm feeling some kind of way, because they're going to get shamed for it, or hazed, or made fun of, or, it's uncomfortable for other people to try to address how their friend is feeling. It's like they don't know how to talk about it. We need to take that. We need to take that stigma away and make it okay to be like, hey, I'm not feeling okay right now, and
I think it's gotten a little better. Like it needs to progress further. But I think in our day and age, people are a lot more willing to say, I see a counselor.
Yeah.
Things like, don't be afraid of it. Get the help you need. Everybody gets depressed. Everybody gets stressed, and everybody has problems. All right. Hopefully they will come to a decision. They're trying to do it by next week, so they can vote on it and enact this quickly. And I hope they work something out. I always like to tell people these fears of them coming across the country and taking your guns. It's never going to happen. There's too many people that would resist. They're not going to tear apart our country like that. Stop being paranoid. All right, another one that nobody's going to want to talk about. A bishop has declared that a Central Massachusetts school may no longer identify itself as a Catholic school because the school refuses to remove Black Lives Matter and pride flags that it's been flying on the campus over the past year. This is not going to bode well for the Catholic Church. He's putting some probably unwanted light on them again. This is not a good thing. All right, and there's going to be people on both sides of the fence of it because it is a Catholic school, but that's just like inviting condemnation. So I'm really surprised that they would step out of that about something that's trying to get people to accept other people. And then you're back to the being nonviolent, just like the guys in Coeur d'Alene. They're going to go to the gay pride march and launch tear gas and have come prepared with shields and masks and stuff so they can take on the police. This is a problem. All right.
I think no, I'm not touching it.
You don't want to touch it?
No. I mean, I have aside from whatever, no, not touching it. Nope,
well, and that's the thing is,
it's like a bear
everybody
trap.
has
I'm
their
not
own
stepping
point of
in.
view on something like this, but does it need to get violent? We need to have these problems. Yeah.
No, it doesn't need to get violent, and on either end. I think that everyone has the right to feel certain how they feel about those kinds of things, but if we live in a place that's big enough to where if you don't like it, you don't have to be there. You don't have to be involved.
Turn the dial if you don't like it.
Yeah, you don't have to be involved in what they're doing, but you don't need to go and attack them. If you don't like it, then just don't be there. If it's not coming into your living room, then just leave it alone.
All right. Another story. SpaceX employees have been fired for speaking out against Elon Musk's tweeting. his sexual harassment lawsuit. So there's going to be some big problems at SpaceX. They fired 5 people for soliciting an email trying to get people to sign it. I don't know what it said, but they were trying to get more employees, I guess, on the boat with them. But they've terminated. They said the letter solicitations and general process made employees feel uncomfortable, is what they claimed. But what the employees were saying is Elon Musk and what he's doing on Twitter, throwing out his political, like he endorsed Ron DeSantis yesterday. They said him doing these things in public makes his employee, and then the sexual harassment lawsuit, obviously. They say that makes as employees, it's making them extremely uncomfortable. But wow. They were all fired for making other people feel uncomfortable. And I'm just really uncomfortable with the whole thing. All right. Weather-wise, we're cold in Washington, we're cold in Maine, but down south, they are cooking. In fact, story today, thousands of cattle in feedlots in southwestern Kansas dropped dead due to the soaring temperatures and high humidity plus no wind. So,
yeah. We're getting floods up here, and they're like an oven down there, and it's like the earliest time of the year for them to have temperatures even close to that high. It's just unprecedented, weird weather all over the place.
And at least it's not like it was last year, because you guys would already be sitting in the hundreds and worrying about forest fires. So you're getting a break. Have you heard about my last little story this morning was icing? This is like some more hate, but it's aimed at people with electric cars. Have you heard of icing before?
No.
Okay.
No, tell me about it.
So, say that again?
I said, tell me about it.
It started a few years ago. There were some reports around this trend, and they called it icing, in which drivers of internal combustion vehicles, pickups mostly, cowboys, were blocking Tesla superchargers and other public electrical vehicle charging spots, purposely parking vehicles so people couldn't get to them. No doubt about it, it's a real jerk move, and at least one truck owner got his comeuppance. Sadly, icing, or something along those lines, is still going on. A Red editor, I guess that's from Reddit, by the handle Ordinary Specialist 38, who is a Tesla Model 3 owner, posted a video on Reddit that shows a driver of a heavy-duty pickup pulling up alongside his Tesla, which was plugged in at a charging station. This all went down while the owner was napping in his car as it charged. Video recorded by the Tesla's Sentry mode. Dun, dun, dun. Then shows the pickup driver approach the Tesla. He grabs the charging cord and tries to unplug the guy's car while he's sleeping.
Oh.
Then the alarm went off, and the Tesla owner woke up, and the police were called, and the owner yelled, and he got scared and jumped in his pickup and ran off. But yeah, they're actually blocking people from using charging centers. What would be your reasoning, do you think? Is it jealousy, anger?
I don't know. People have weird fears of things they don't understand, and one of the things that people push back against the most is change, and so maybe I think there's some changes happening in the world that we could do without, but I don't think that electric vehicles is one of them. I think that's actually going to be like a good thing as long as they can figure out how to make the batteries a little bit more efficiently. But some people just don't get it.
Everything comes with a cost, and we'll find out what those costs are with the electric vehicles. It could be a thing which when they catch fire, it's hard to put them out. I did watch a documentary on new batteries, and this was a couple years ago. And they say this, he said his battery that he's developed was at that time 5 years away from going to market with his estimate with more testing and stuff. But what he did is he took a lithium car battery and he drove a spike through it, and it literally started to arc weld right there with the bright white, like when you're welding something, the bright white light. And it doesn't go out. You can hit it with some water. It's just going to make it worse. You have to use a special kind of fire retardant to put that out, which I imagine as these cars take over more, if they don't already have that type of thing inside of a fire truck, they're going to need it for car fires. But this gentleman then takes his battery and he drives 18 stakes in the battery. It never arcs, it never shorts out, it never catches on fire. And then he hooks it back up and starts the car with it.
Oh, wow.
That's impressive. So,
Yeah, it is.
and it's that fear that you're talking about of change. People going, oh, there's this problem, there's this problem. It's like when they came out, and I'm sure that was like yellow journalism against the wind power industry saying, oh, you can't recycle these blades. It was untrue. You can recycle the blades. Oh, well, they're not doing it, but there's a company out there that will recycle windmill blades. So it's kind of that thing, being afraid of change, and we're going to take the first piece of negative news that supports our fear, and we're going to run with that. And it's not necessarily the truth.
Right.
So, all right. Bunch of fun stuff there, right?
That's crazy, though, about those batteries. Like, what are they going to do when there's, like, car accidents or the battery gets impaled with a piece of metal?
It's going to be a problem. It's definitely
that is frightening.
Yeah, definitely be a problem. Well, hopefully they'll get it. There's people out there. There's money to be made.
That's crazy, though, about those
Sorry,
batteries.
I bumped a button here. There's people out there ready, to make money on this and come up with new ideas. Necessity, as they say, is the mother of invention.
True.
And I think sometimes we need to sit back and just wait a little bit because it's going to happen. Yeah.
I feel that way about warning labels. Yeah.
Good morning to Christopher, who says, yeah, Elon's getting out there. Yeah, I think he was already out there. He's good. In fact, he's so far out there, he's going to take us to Mars. Dun, dun, dun.
Or something like that.
Or something like that. Take us somewhere. All right. Hey, somebody's got to do it because we're sure messing up this planet, and we need to mess up other places, too.
I was going to say, so why do we deserve another one?
Yeah, we can't take care of the one we have. We should probably stop.
Right.
All right. Let's see. Today's bits and breaks. Head along with me there. And apparently, we'll apologize for Phillip. He has not woken up today.
He is
let's
in
see.
so much
What
trouble.
women say is an instant turnoff. I hope these are things I don't do. Michelle, you want to do that one since you're a woman?
All right.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Yes.
Listen up. You've hit it off with a wonderful woman, and things are starting to heat up. What's going to kill her attraction to you? Here's what women had to say.
Okay.
If I go over to their place and it's a total wreck, I'm not talking about a few dirty dishes in the sink or laundry on the floor. I'm talking about the dudes that very clearly don't clean up after themselves. Like, the entire bathroom is coated in hair and crust and old food starting its own ecosystem kind of dirty. Like, you still need your mom and you're 30. What is going on in your life? Stop.
Yeah, you always clean before the girl comes over. That's all I'm saying.
That's a different kind of dirty, though, what that's talking about. That's like, yeah, you just bulldoze the house and start over. Okay, so clean hands and clean trimmed fingernails. You don't have to get a manicure, but before you lay those hands on my face, neck, back, or anywhere else, you groom them.
Does that mean I can chew them?
Oh, please no.
Okay.
Also, take care of your feet as well as your hands. If he has toenails that could strongly assist him climbing a tree, toast. I'm out of there.
But they come in handy.
No, the footy.
All right.
All right. Also, bragging. Nothing screams insecure like bragging. We're trying to figure out if you're cool, but you telling us that you're cool is not going to help us figure out if you're cool.
Doesn't work.
No, that's counterproductive. Also,
I used to have a problem if I was on a date and a girl would ask me about the radio station because I'm so enthusiastic about it. And then I'd have to realize you're talking too much. Shut up.
Well, you also have to watch out, Scott, because girls check your social media to see what kind of a guy you really are.
Uh-oh.
The organizations you follow, the posts you like, and things like that. I do this after a date, so not to spoil it, but very often a person's true beliefs are found online.
Oh, that they might not necessarily share in the opening conversations, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you can find out an awful lot more about them by what their friends post on their page.
Who are they hanging out with and that kind of stuff? All right. Yeah, and that can mess you up on a job too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, big time.
Careful. Be careful. All right. What was I have friends that were fired for posting things on Facebook they shouldn't say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Or that their company didn't want them to say, especially if and it did involve the company. Talking about your job on Facebook, probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. Next section was what was a weird theory you came up with as a kid? First one, this person put, I thought George Washington was the first man ever.
Oh, boy.
Is that in the Bible? Okay.
I don't think so.
Stoplights are controlled by a couple dudes at a big control board. That'd be awesome. All right. This... I don't even know if I should say this one, but I'm gonna. I thought I could drink water while peeing and pee longer.
It just goes straight through. Some days it feels that way.
Another post said I thought babies were boy or girl if the mom ate broccoli or strawberries when she got pregnant. I thought I had to wait for the toilet to finish flushing before washing my hands, or the dirty water would come out of the faucet.
Oh, so glad that doesn't happen.
Wow. All right. Ancient food superstitions with our chef, Michelle Williams.
All right. Bake a cake while the sun is rising, and don't throw away the eggshells until the baking is done.
Or...
It doesn't say.
All humanity will collapse.
I think it's a cliffhanger. Huh? Tossing coffee grounds under the steps that lead to the kitchen will rid the home of ants. If you accidentally swallow some seeds while eating a grape, they'll give you appendicitis. I'm going to have to call false on that one. The sound of thunder can turn milk sour.
You got to insulate your milk.
Right. Tipping over a slice of cake on a plate while serving a guest brings bad luck.
Oh, okay.
Eating the crust of bread will give you curly hair. Scott.
What happened? Yeah, I always ate the crust.
Peel an apple until it breaks and toss the rind. Whatever letter it forms is the first letter of your true love's name.
Oh, all right.
I remember in grade school we used to do like the twist the stem thing and do your ABCs while you twist the stem, and then whatever letter it breaks on, that was supposed to be your true love's name.
Ah, the poor guy sitting next to you that happened to have that letter in his name.
Yeah.
All right. We were having a discussion about pine pollen the other day and people's different reaction to it. And then I came up with the clever statement, and just think about it for a minute. What if humans procreated with pollen?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So you could literally say, yeah, I was out yesterday and the wind was blowing really hard and now I'm pregnant.
No. Every parent of every girl would have like a bubble room. Nope, it's springtime. You go in the bubble.
Might be why I'm allergic to pollen. All right, I'm sorry you have no assistance today, but I'll make it easy on you. Just a couple trivia questions for Michelle, all by herself.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
I'm not going to say it.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Yes. All right. Every minute, two of these are occurring somewhere in the world, Michelle. It is a planetary event. Something that the planet does. Every minute, two of these are occurring somewhere in the world.
The changing tides?
No, probably really prevalent in California. There's a big hint. Every 2 minutes, one of these are occurring somewhere in the world, usually minor, because you'll hear about the big ones on the news.
Crimes?
No, I'm looking for shake and bake, baby. Earthquakes.
Oh, you said California. I should have thought of that, but I was like, they're dangerous down there.
All right. I had a lot more. I had so much phobia stuff this week. We'll do a few more today. If you suffer from cherophobia, this is CHERO phobia. Are you afraid you might die laughing, or are you afraid of chairs? Cherophobia.
Die laughing.
It is die laughing. I think maybe like the cheer. And that'd be another thing I'd say. What a way to go. I was happy. All right. If you have enetophobia, E-N-E-T-O phobia, are you afraid of boxes or pins?
Pins?
It is pins. I've always been afraid of needles.
Yeah.
Any kind of needle. Yeah.
I don't like them either.
Yeah. You have acousticophobia. Are you afraid of noise or musical instruments? That makes it a tough one. Acousticophobia.
I'm going to say noise.
You are afraid of noise. If you have sphexophobia, that's S-P-H-E-X-S-O phobia, are you afraid of wasps or horses?
Afraid of funny sounding words.
Yeah.
Wasps.
You're right again. You're doing really well with this, actually. You know, and it's 50-50, right? And what about pagophobia? Pagophobia. Are you afraid of ice or frost? Or are you afraid of, ice or frost, or are you afraid of pasta? Pagophobia. Who could be scared of pasta?
Hey, that's the real thing, because I hate to love it. That's the
Okay.
thing. I'm going to say frost.
It is frost, ice and frost. All right. And which one's the lie? Taking regular naps can lower your risk of dying from heart disease by 37%. Soaking your feet in coffee improves foot odor. And only about 10% of frequent flyer miles are ever redeemed. Which one is the lie? I can do them again if you need to.
I'm going to say the first one.
Taking regular naps can lower your risk of dying of heart disease by 37% is true. So the next time Grandpa's taking a nap, leave him alone. The next time I'm taking a nap, leave me alone. You know, and I think as older guys, at least all my friends around the same age, we always talk about how we have such poor sleep patterns. So those naps can really be important. They say men, if you're not drinking water first thing in the morning, and if you do things like shoveling snow, something like that that's really hard on your heart, you've got a 50% higher chance of suffering a heart attack before noon. So drink your water, take your naps. All right. Soaking your feet in coffee improves foot odor. It's a lie, although it said that soaking your feet in tea works.
I don't believe that. Because, if you soak your feet in coffee, your feet are going to smell like coffee, and that's a heck of a lot better than smelling like feet.
That's right. Wow, and for me, it's just another way to absorb the coffee into my system.
Yes, straight to my soul.
Kind of sad to think that only 10% of people are redeeming their frequent flyer miles, though. What a waste. I think a lot of things are gimmicks like that where they say, free 2-year warranty, but who actually put the time in to register their product and all that stuff so they can get that warranty. I think a lot of it flies by.
Well, hey, if they don't want to use those flyer miles, they can give them to me. I will gladly accept.
No kidding. All right. The longest one of these animals was 19 feet 2 inches.
Crocodile.
I'll give you that. It's actually an alligator, but that's close enough for Scott. These take up 2% of the Earth's surface.
2%?
Yes. It's a tough one. You'd never expect that it was just 2%.
Rivers?
No. It's something we've done as humans.
Oh, landfills?
Wow. I wonder if, I don't think so. It says these take up 2% of their surface. Cities.
Oh,
Cities only
really?
take up 2%. That's a tough one to guess.
Those are kind of like landfills.
That's right. If you're an average person, Michelle, you're going to do this 17,000 times a day. What are you doing?
Blink.
Yes. Good job.
It's the only thing. I think
In
of.
American military slang, what's a click?
Oh, it's a measurement of distance. I don't
It
know
is?
what it is. A quarter mile?
Nope.
Oh, I don't know.
So, since they're going to so many foreign countries and stuff, I think they must use metrics. It's a kilometer, a click.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
All right. One more round of Spy the Lie here. First known use of separate men's and women's bathrooms was at the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair. Next one, mullet tossing is a fish tossing game that takes place at the Florida-Alabama border. The first Super Bowl touchdown was made by Max McGee. Which one is the lie?
Oh. I wish I knew sports better. I'm gonna say mullet tossing.
I'm just picturing 80s bands getting their heads shaved.
Right? You said that, and I did not think of fish at all. I thought.
Yeah. Mullet tossing is a real thing. Takes
Oh,
place
my.
at the Florida-Alabama border. Also, very first Super Bowl touchdown was made by Max McGee. That's true. He played for the Green Bay. And then the first known use of separate men's and women's bathroom was not the World's Fair in 1904. It actually happened back in 1739 at a Parisian ball.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we've been separating the men and women for a long time.
We've been civilized longer than we thought.
All right. Big round of applause for Michelle. Where is it? There it is. All right, you did really good. It's probably a little scary having to do it by yourself, right? You got no backup of somebody else giving a right answer, but you did awesome.
That's okay. If I play against myself, I don't lose.
All right, before we go to break, I wanted to share these just so I can get them off my sheet because I missed them yesterday. These were real emails sent to landlords, and I thought it was kind of fun. First one says, the toilet is blocked. This is caused by the boys next door throwing their balls on the roof. Don't know how that worked with the toilet, but okay. This is to let you know that there is a smell coming from the man next door. Which is the same thing my neighbors just said. I request your permission to remove my drawers in the kitchen. Yeah, you do that anytime you want, lady. All right. Our toilet seat is broken in half and is now in 3 pieces. I want some repairs done to my stove as it has backfired and burnt my knob off. You like that one, do you? Another one, the toilet is blocked and we cannot bathe the children until it is cleared.
No, not touching that one either.
And little kids. All right, will you please send someone to mend our cracked sidewalk? Yesterday my wife tripped on it and now she's pregnant. Back to the whole pine pollen thing.
Right.
Our kitchen floor is very damp. We have 2 children and we would like a third. So will you please send someone to do something about it? What? All right. Hey, we will be back when we come back. Local birthdays with Michelle Williams. We'll also have a little bit of today in history and goofy events going all the way through the weekend. We always wrap it up with today's odd news. Stick around. It's Northern Lights Public Radio, KCHW Chihuahua 102.7 FM. We're back after news.
You're listening to 102.7 KCHW Chewelah.
Your KCHW Morning Show, made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And Public News Service, this is the news from rural America. Faith and farming go hand in hand, from long hours in the field to watching the weather, and faith leaders are being encouraged to engage with those struggling with issues such as mental health.
Farmers would very much talk about their vocation in the same way I would talk about my vocation. It's not just a job, it really is a calling.
Clarion, Iowa pastor Grant Woodley is a member of the Moses Project, which teaches rural pastors in 9 states how to build better relationships in their congregations and communities.
We really help pastors get a sense of all of the challenges that farmers face.
In measuring suicide by occupation, the Centers for Disease Control, CDC, lists farming in the top 5. A Lancet report on the first year of the pandemic found fatal alcohol use is a more intense threat in rural America. Now, mental health officials in Alabama are developing new screening tools to curb the trend. Xander Brown has more.
Nationally, there was a 25% increase of alcohol-related deaths from 2019 to 2020. People in rural communities reported a 35% increase in heavy alcohol usage, according to the National Survey on Drug Use and Health. In Alabama, the Department of Mental Health has partnered with the University of Alabama School of Social Work to offer annual screenings and counseling to patients in 19 counties. Social worker Audra Morrison runs the project.
We have seen that it is effective in helping patients cut back.
While researchers say there can be many reasons for the increase, some doctors confirm hearing from families that the fatal alcohol use was related to the pandemic.
They did say that many patients had expressed being cooped up, I guess is the word, that has impacted mental health.
I'm Xander Brown.
High prices are squeezing many out of home ownership. Mobile park homes are a low-cost option with half the nation's inventory in rural areas, but they're being squeezed too. Lance George with the Housing Assistance Council says often long-term residents of trailer parks are competing with outside private capital and investment firms that increase property rents beyond affordability.
They don't know anybody. They don't know what the community is like. And then they start to jack up the rents 25% every year.
Advocates have been trying for years to help mobile homeowners purchase the land under their homes. Colorado just passed a hefty state loan fund. Doug Bryan with Prosperity Now says the effort takes a lot of work.
Even though everybody understands and talks about the housing crisis in cities and suburbia and rural America, it's not easy to get to this point.
For the Daily Yonder and Public News Service, I'm Roz Brown. For more rural stories, visit dailyyonder.com.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Giles Gibson. The US ambassador to China says he expects the country's zero-COVID strategy to last at least until the end of the year. China's biggest cities are doubling down on COVID-19 testing in a bid to stamp out persistent infections. Richard Kimber reports from Hong Kong.
America's ambassador to China, Nicholas Burns, says signals from Beijing suggest the government's controversial zero-COVID strategy will continue into the early months of 2023. He says the Chinese market is too important for foreign companies to leave entirely, but that local Chamber of Commerce surveys suggest companies are increasingly uncertain about investing in China further, given the lack of roadmap to end the strict COVID-19 rules. China's biggest cities are rolling out mass testing initiatives in a bid to curb COVID infections. Health officials in Shanghai have announced plans to test the entire city every weekend until the end of July to stamp out the virus. The mass testing drives come as cases in China remain low in comparison to the rest of the world. Beijing reported 22 cases on Thursday, while Shanghai recorded just 4, all of which were in government-run quarantine centres. Richard Kimber in Hong Kong.
People in the UK are skipping meals and growing their own vegetables because of the cost of living crisis. That's according to a new survey. A study commissioned by the BBC shows the widespread effects of soaring inflation, which has hit a 40-year high. Here's Sally Patterson in London.
As the prices of energy, petrol and food skyrocket, more than 8 in 10 people are worried about the rising cost of living. The BBC survey found that 2/3 of those with worries said this was having a negative effect on their mental health. Nearly half said their physical health had been affected. Families in Britain are having to make a plethora of changes to their day-to-day lives to try and combat the rising costs, such as going on fewer nights out, not using the car and getting haircuts less often. The government has announced a package of financial support to address the cost of living crisis, including a £400 discount on energy bills in October, but more than half of respondents said this support was insufficient.
And in sports news, the Golden State Warriors have won the NBA championship. They beat the Boston Celtics to claim their 4th NBA title in 8 years. Rachel Silverman reports from San Francisco.
The Golden State Warriors defeated the Boston Celtics 103-90 in Boston in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. It was an exhilarating comeback from a 2-1 series deficit. Finals MVP Stephen Curry finished the game with 34 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. Boston, looking for an 18th championship banner, fell behind by 22 points in the third quarter and could never quite close the gap.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon.
And we're back. It's KCHW 102.7, looking at 8:22 Pacific time. I got it right this time, Michelle.
Good job.
All right. You know, it's kind of tricky there. You just look down at the clock, and then, you know, your brain wants to say what time it is, and, well, I'm 3 hours ahead. All right, so we're going to start off with local birthdays. We got a 3-day weekend. A lot of people have Monday off for the Juneteenth holiday. Michelle, can you start us off with local birthdays and go all the way through Monday?
Okay, I sure can do that. So today we have no birthdays.
Okay, that makes it real easy for you.
Right, it's wide open. If anyone wants to have a birthday today, you're
got
in there.
room. Got lots of room.
So for the 18th, we have Megan George, Avery Arnold, and Ruthanna Frizzell.
All right.
So, happy birthday to you guys on Saturday. Sunday, for Father's Day, we have Taylor Henches and Clint Henches.
Okay.
Twins, maybe. I
Twins.
don't know. Happy birthday. For the 20th, we have Sharon Ludwig. Happy birthday, Sharon. Scott, I didn't know you guys shared a birthday. That's kind of cool.
We do. It's one of our happiest moments.
Oh, that's neat. And then a happy anniversary to Tara and Colby Dollar.
All right. Applause all the way around. There you go. You know, I'm lucky. I share my birthday with one of the coolest people ever. There you go, Sharon. Hope you're listening this morning.
She is pretty fantastic.
She is pretty fantastic. Her husband's not bad either.
Gino is awesome.
Just kidding, Gino. Sorry. All right, let's move along to some celebrity birthdays. I'll just try to pick out maybe a few of my favorites as we go through the weekend. Today, definitely one of my favorites. I can say it like Casey Kasem. He's one of my favorites. It's Barry Manilow. Barry Manilow, 79. Also, now he's doing Social Security commercials. It's Joe Piscopo at 71. It's so sad. All right. They must need money, though. You see all the old actors doing the Social Security commercials, and and they're not for actual Social Security. They're for some company that just wants to take money from old people. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe, and Tom Selleck. All right. Mark Lynn Baker from Perfect Strangers, 68. Thomas Hayden Church from Wings is 62. Greg Kinnear, 59. Lots of popular people today. Jason Patrick, you might remember him from Speed 2 and Nothing Else. He's 56. Venus Williams, 42. And Jodie Whittaker for Doctor Who fans, 40. Will Forte from Saturday Night Live, 52.
Wow.
Right, if we look ahead into the weekend, we got Paul McCartney is 80. Isabel Rossellini, 70. Carol Kane is 70. Blake Shelton, 46. I would have thought he'd been a little older than that. Richard Madden from Game of Thrones and Bodyguard, 36. And Willa Holland from the OC and Arrow is 31. If we go on to Sunday, Felicia Rashad is 74. Kathleen Turner, 68. Get this, Paula Abdul, for you music fans, is 60. And Lucky, if she can stand straight up. Oh, that was the name of a song.
I know.
Yeah. Poppy Montgomery from Without a Trace and Unforgettables, 47. Zoe Saldana from the Avatar films and Marvel films. She's doing a new one, too. I can't wait till the new Avatar comes out.
Oh, me
44. Ryan Hurst from The Walking Dead and Sons of Anarchy is 46. Isn't that the same show? And Atticus Schaefer from The Middle, 24. What a cool name, Atticus. Almost like that thing, abacus, that they used to use like calculators.
That's right.
Sorry. All right. From there and our holidays, we go on to It Happened Today. History for today. Michelle, can you handle all this history?
Well, I'll have to look back on it later.
Okay. Oh, the puns. You're killing me.
I know. It's all my dad jokes coming out before Father's Day.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
All right. 1870, George Cormack was born in Scotland. In 1924, working in the U.S., he invented Wheaties. Eat your Wheaties. Okay. 1885, the Statue of Liberty arrived in New York Harbor.
But that was quite the sight.
Yeah, pretty interesting. I bet it was. I think she had to come over in like 4 pieces. Something like that.
Thank you, France.
Yeah. For that and, what, cheese?
Yeah.
1976, what remained of the American Basketball Association, the Nets, Pacers, Nuggets, and Spurs merged into the NBA.
Wow.
That's interesting. 1994, following a televised low-speed highway chase and failed attempt at suicide, O.J. Simpson was arrested for the murders of his wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend, Ronald Goldman.
Wow. Low-speed highway chase. That's fun.
Oh, whoops.
It's a tough one. It kind of turns your tongue.
Yeah, it does. All right. 2004, an Alabama hen named Matilda was certified by Guinness World Records as the world's oldest living chicken. She was 14 at the time, almost double the normal lifespan of a chicken. Matilda worked in a magic act. She died February 11th, 2006.
I should say she disappeared.
Right. Yeah, magic chicken. That's pretty awesome.
There's a lot of jokes that you could do here.
Okay. 2008, an Orlando, Florida man was taken into custody after the pickup he was driving was found to have a hidden 800-gallon tank custom welded into the back to steal fuel. Investigators said a gas station attendant called the police and said the driver of a white Ford pickup looked suspicious and lingered too long at the pump. When officers checked the man's vehicle, they found a fuel tank professionally welded and hidden inside. The man also had a key that disabled pump meters. Well.
Ooh. Wow.
He was
Probably shouldn't have done that one with the price of gas. It's going to give too many people ideas.
Well, I mean, they're already having ideas and tapping tanks of people's cars. Anyway.
All right.
2015, the U.S. Treasury announced that the image of Alexander Hamilton would be replaced on the $10 bill by an image of a woman. However, this decision was reversed in 2016 due to the surging popularity of Hamilton, a hit Broadway musical based on Hamilton's life. On April 20th, 2016, it was announced that Hamilton would remain on the $10 bill, while Andrew Jackson would be replaced by Harriet Tubman on the front of the $20 bill, with Jackson appearing on the reverse.
I'm all confused now.
I don't think that happened either.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, so...
Maybe. All right.
2021, President Joe Biden signed into law the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act, making June 19th a federal holiday commemorating emancipation.
All right. I can mix it up for you a little and steal history for Saturday. We start off on Saturday, 1873. Susan B. Anthony fined $100 for attempting to vote in the 1872 presidential election. She must have dressed as a man. All right. In 1928, aviator Amelia Earhart became the first woman to fly in an aircraft across the Atlantic. She was a passenger. Wilmer Stutz was pilot, and Lou Gordon was the mechanic. In 1948, Columbia Records publicly unveiled its new long-playing phonograph record in New York. It played at 33 1/3 revolutions per minute. On to 1983, astronaut Sally Ride became the first American woman in space. In 92, Italian police arrested a man for stealing 17,000 little bars of hotel soap. Dirty, 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 dirty man.
Trying to make a clean getaway.
In 2018, Donald Trump announced he would set up a sixth branch of the military, and he did. And not to be confused with the Netflix show, it's called Space Force. And they have no ships. I actually did see a documentary on it. It's actually pretty cool. They're really, really working with satellites and how we can protect our satellites now that Russians and Chinese can explode our satellites in space. Yep.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. All right. 2020 world record was set for the greatest duration of a single lightning flash. 17.1 seconds during a thunderstorm over Uruguay and Argentina. I should have just went with Argentina. All right. And history for Sunday with Michelle.
All right. It happened today in 1846. Actually, it happened on Sunday in 1846. The first baseball game under recognizable modern rules was played in Hoboken, New Jersey. I thought they all disappeared. Sorry. Anyway,
That was earlier.
1910. The first Father's Day was celebrated in Spokane, Washington. Yay, Spokane! All right, that's kind of cool. 1941. General Mills in Minneapolis created a new dry breakfast cereal called Cheery Oats. The name was then later shortened to Cheerios. No good?
No. It's the worst cereal ever.
Well, this is good. 1978, the Garfield comic strip debuted.
Making cats famous everywhere.
Everybody loves Garfield. Never met a lasagna I didn't like. 1993, Toronto police reported that a business burglar had left a thumbprint in the owner's silly putty.
That's good.
2015, Hawaii raised the legal smoking age from 18 to 21, the highest smoking age among all the states. And now it's like that everywhere.
Yep.
2016, actor Anton Yelchin was killed when he was pinned by his Jeep Grand Cherokee against an entrance post at his home.
That was so sad. He was such a good young actor. That was sad.
2019, U.S. senators received a classified briefing on possible UFO sightings by the U.S. Navy.
They're real, folks. They're real. They keep talking about it. Maybe. They might be real. All right. Let's move on to special events. I'll go ahead and throw out the ones for today. For your Friday, it's Global Garbage Man Day. So hug your garbage man, but plug your nose while you do it. It's Apple Strudel Day. Don't say no to strudel. It's Eat Your Vegetables Day. Oh, man. I don't think you're going to want to put these on. A little too chilly. Flip-Flop Day. Take Back the Lunch Break Day. Ugliest Dog Day. I don't understand that on the dating site since I'm Signal. Every woman apparently on the planet has a large dog. And they like to take pictures with them. And sometimes it's the first picture without them. So I did a rundown one day on Tinder, and I said, typical woman's posting. It's a picture of woman in sunglasses with dog, picture of just the dog, and then I had a whole bunch of them. Picture of a dog on a kayak with some feet. And then at the end of it, I said, maybe you should date the dog. Probably didn't get me any dates, but it was fun. Wow. And then to embarrass all you men out there, it's World Croc Day.
I hope my brother-in-law is listening.
Does he love his Crocs?
It's like a joke in our family that if you wear Crocs too long, your foot turns into one big toe.
It's kind of what they look like, doesn't it?
It's terrible.
It's like you stole Ronald McDonald's shoes and painted them black.
And my husband works with him, and he said they were listening today, so good morning. Good morning, boys. Good morning, boys.
Those shoes and that dress and that hat.
Who is your stylist?
All right. Saturday events with Michelle.
All right. Yes. Tomorrow is Autistic Pride Day.
Cool.
Dog Dad's Day. Oh, Go Fishing Day. I'm all for that. Picnic Day. Sushi Day. Splurge Day and World Juggling Day. I could get behind all of those things.
All right. Splurge Day. If you were going to splurge on something today, what would it be? If you could splurge on anything.
It would be a sushi picnic.
Sushi picnic.
While I'm fishing for more sushi.
Is that like real sushi or the cheat American sushi?
Oh, no. The real stuff.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sunday is Father's Day. It is also Juneteenth, Family Awareness Day, Garfield the Cat Day, Husband Caregiver Day for all those guys that take care of their wives. I mean, there's probably not as many of them as the vice versa. Since us guys go down quickly. Remember, guys, be nice to your wife. It's Eat an Oreo Day, Martini Day, Turkey Lovers Day, World Albatross Day. Oh, this is something I'm really good at. World Sauntering Day. There, you got it. You got it, Michelle. Yeah.
I'm going to saunter everywhere on Sunday.
I'm supposed to saunter wherever I go.
That's right.
And it's World Sickle Cell Day on Sunday as well. Number for the day is 3.5 billion, and that's the number of clothes hangers that end up in U.S. landfills each year. That's horrible.
I knew the landfills were going to come up at some point today.
Yeah, you tried to start off with that, didn't you?
I know. I knew it was coming.
All right. I wanted to do, since it is a Friday, weather's not going to be very good. People might want to get out and do something different with Dad. So for entertainment and something for the kids, too, this could be a very cool movie. Movies this weekend, new in theaters, streaming, and video demand. Lightyear is in theaters. So Buzz Lightyear's new movie from Pixar and Disney is coming out, which could be a fun thing to take the family to. Brian and Charles have no idea what that is. Cha-Cha Real Smooth. It's in theaters and Apple TV. I have no idea what that is, and it doesn't sound like something I'd watch. Because it sounds like it has to do with dancing. All right, Civil with Ben Crump. Ben Crump in theaters. Good luck to you, Leo Grande on Hulu. Official Competition is a new movie coming out to theaters. Spiderhead, that sounds scary. That's on Netflix. Wild Men in theaters. That sounds like it could be a dad movie, right? Mm-hmm. Wild Man. I'll actually click on that and see if I can come up with some details. And then Jerry and Marge Go Large on Paramount Plus.
Oh boy.
That sounds really dangerous. All right, Wild Man. In a desperate attempt to cure his midlife crisis, Martin has fled his family to live high on the Norwegian mountains, hunting and gathering like his ancestor did years ago. Wow. It doesn't... Oh, it's a comedy. Good. That sounded a little too serious for me.
Yeah. That's, spawns those mental health problems we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
I have to tell you, my husband and I did start watching The Boys.
You did?
Yes, we did.
All right. And you're sticking with it? Did you enjoy it?
It's a little raunchy, but it's pretty good.
Yeah. You know, a bonus for the ladies, there's lots of man butts in it. Look at her smile on the camera.
No. You're trying to get me in trouble. I see what you're doing right now.
Yeah, see what you're doing? Yeah, because your man's listening.
Yeah, I see you.
All right, yeah, that's a pretty crazy show. Not for the you're not letting the kids watch it, are you?
No.
Okay.
I remember you said that, and we were watching it, and I'm like, I'm so glad he told me not to let the kids watch.
Well, it depends on the age of your kids. I'd definitely be checking it out before you let them watch it.
I
But,
typically do
yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
For most
Lots
things, I typically do.
Lots of violence. And I hate to say that it's fun, but it is. Like you said, you're going to keep watching it, right? It's totally shocking. And I think that's why people like it. They just blow you away with what they will do. And it's kind of like when The Walking Dead first came out. You were like, what do you mean they just killed one of the stars? You know, that kind of stuff. So. Yeah. All right. Coming up to the end of the show where we kick you into your weekend with a little odd news.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid. You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
Oh, why so serious? It's time for Odd News. We always kick it off with the news attack, where the first part's true, and the second part is a big fat joke, or, well, I should say a bad big fat joke. All right, Michelle, will you kick us off with that story on the Frisbee?
Yes, it's Frisbee's birthday today, too. They hit a birthday milestone this year, celebrating 65 years of being stuck on the roof.
That was so disappointing as a kid when the Frisbee went somewhere bad. And then I was watching a show called Last Ship that was on TNT a few years ago. I just started watching it and binge watching all the episodes. It's like after the apocalypse, and there's one naval ship left, and it's really good. But they were playing soccer on the deck of the ship, and they kicked the ball overboard. And the guy goes, "That's our last soccer ball!" And I was like, "Oh, it's like Frisbee."
Yeah.
Playing Frisbee on a boat. All right, study found that to push the mental reset button and clear our minds, all we have to do is wash our hands. Wow. Explains why those people at fast food restaurants always have to ask you a second time what you ordered.
Oh, boy. Yes. All right, the January 6 hearings are revealing things the public didn't know, like the apparent existence of a pardon list that some officials request to be on in case things went wrong. The pardon would also cover administration officials who were caught sharing Netflix passwords.
Ooh. Oh, I caught a clip of that yesterday, and they played like a guy actually like saying that, hey, you know, I pushed this thing about the election being stolen, and I know it wasn't true, and can I get on the pardon list? I was like, oh, man. Why don't you, here's a shovel, go bury yourself. All right. 4 in 10 of us are not excited about the idea of sharing the road with self-driving cars. And in places like New York City, no one's excited because flipping the bird will have no effect.
That's very true. All right.
Just send, you know, another thing you do is just send your car to work and not even be in it.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
Think about it.
Yeah,
But not
that's
too
one.
long.
That's one I'm not sure like how comfortable I am with just yet. That's one of those ones I'm going to see how that plays out before I
Get a self-driving car.
Yeah, and
or
I know
trust
some
it.
people. I know some people actually in this area that are getting some of them, and I'm like, you know, I mean, maybe if I can take a nap, but I don't think my anxiety would let me.
No, be like letting your kid drive.
Yeah, oh, might be worse than that.
You're like your 5-year-old. Here, I'm going to take a nap in the back. Go ahead and drive. I think you're up.
Yeah. Although this isn't true, I'm going to say it anyway.
Okay.
Summer is coming on fast. A lot of kids will be going back to school in a couple of months. Or as parents will call it, autumn vacation.
I always, you know, some people dread that. I always liked having the kids home. I don't know. All right. After conducting an audit of a reporter's work, USA Today has pulled 23 articles from its website that include made-up quotes. The final straw that launched the audit was a story about the importance of going green with a quote from someone named Kermit the Frog.
You can't make
fake
this.
Laugh.
You can't make this stuff up, but they
You can't make it up.
But
and
they
you
can.
wouldn't want to.
But they can. Oh my goodness. A study found that you reduce your risk of heart attack by 10% by eating sardines and anchovies. And you reduce your chances of getting a good night kiss by 90%.
Oh. Do you like sardines or anchovies?
I do, but they have to be like the ones that are in like the water, not the oil. Otherwise, they're gross.
Oh. I had no idea. I was confused with anchovies, apparently, and avocados as a child. And I was ordering, Mom said I could order a pizza, and I had a buddy, and I said, what do you want on it? And he said anchovies. And I ordered it that way. And when I came, I was like, why is there, like, fish with eyes on my pizza? Anchovies. Sure.
You know, that's
All
one
right.
thing. That's one thing I've never tried is anchovies on pizza.
You're not missing nothing.
I didn't think so.
You've had a sardine, it's about the same thing. Sardines on pizza.
Yuck.
A study found migraine headaches cost U.S. employers more than $24 billion a year in direct and indirect health care costs. Ironic, since it's our jobs that usually give us the headaches. And the last study.
A study says that sleep problems are more common in 3 to 5-year-olds who watch screens after 7 p.m. You've seen it before. A 3-year-old working on his 6th bottle of milk trying to fall asleep to Kimmel.
That child's going to have a warped mind.
Yeah.
We move on to the wonderful world of wacky but true. No stupid jokes. Well, I guess there are, but they're self-contained. We didn't come up with them. And maybe a sound effect or two. First one is police in Argentina, is where we're traveling, where they arrested a man for biting off part of another man's finger in a road rage accident. Can I say that again? Road rage accident. The pair got into an argument in a supermarket parking lot after a little fender bender. Victim said he was attacked with a baseball bat, bitten on the thigh, ouch, and then on the finger. Police did find the finger, but were unable to reattach it. Aww. And here's what the gentleman had to say.
This is a tasty burger.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're like, in self-defense, be like, don't do it, I'm a nose picker.
You have no idea where that finger's been.
Right. All right. Social media. Zachary Barton had a service connection disability rating of 70% for various issues he'd been diagnosed with, including PTSD. He filed for an increased based on limited motion of the arm at the shoulder level and painful movement of the arm. At his exam, he dropped a small book saying he had no strength to hold it. Barton's disability rating was boosted to 100% until he went to his regular workout at a Florida Planet Fitness, where he bragged to a man about his weightlifting over the last 10 years. The man and met the man later to teach him his grueling workout he developed over the previous 2.5 to 3 years as a serious bodybuilder. The man knew all that. He was an undercover agent who had been investigating Barton based on the pictures and videos of his weightlifting he and his wife posted online. In a plea deal, Barton admitted to stealing over $245,000 from the Veterans Administration by lying.
Whoa. Yeah. And nobody was shocked to see that he was able to do this.
I got my 2 hands up. I surrender. Come and lock me up. Here forever.
See, your hands can go over your head, can't they?
Jerk award for that guy.
Yeah, yes. All right. How about some pure evil on the police force, Michelle?
All right. Eric Wada was dismissed from Cincinnati, Ohio Police Department for his new tattoos. Officer Wada stated in a disciplinary hearing that, like all of his tattoos, his hand tattoo has a personal message to him. Officer Wada claimed that the words pure and evil are separate from each other and separate from each other, and the words themselves have separate meanings. He admitted he made a bad decision by getting the tattoos on his knuckles. and he's appealed the decision and filed a grievance through the Fraternal Order of Police.
Wow. Though if you were arresting somebody and you had pure evil on your hands, and then you could just say,
Talk to the hand.
Which one?
That's one.
Yeah.
All right. Hitchhiking, always fun. Rendell Betha was hitchhiking from Spokane all the way to Newport, Oregon. So maybe you know Rendell Betha. When he got tired of hitchhiking, he made a raft from wood and rope. He must have done this right around the Tri-Cities area. And he rode it down the Columbia River. It wasn't too long before he had to call 911. He was stuck in the middle of the channel and couldn't get to shore. He didn't have a life vest, and apparently Randall can't swim. Sheriff's office searched for 5 hours before they were contacted by a tugboat operator who had spotted Betha and pulled him on board just 10 minutes before. He would have been swept into a nearby dam, which would have probably killed him. Once Betha was safe on the boat, deputies arrived and took him away because he had open arrest warrants.
Oh, couldn't float that one.
Yeah, and then a message just kind of like, because it is Father's Day.
If you were my son, I would have smothered you by now.
This is why animals eat their young.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, let's talk some trash as we wrap up odd news for today.
Trash talking. In an effort to cut down on littering, the city of Malmo, Sweden, installed some talking trash cans. As trash is tossed into the cans, they respond with a female voice saying such things as, "Oh, right there, yes," or "a bit more to the left next time." Officials say the messages give positive reinforcement to people who do the right thing by giving them a laugh.
Wow. Those Swedes, there's no political correctness there, is there? I'd be embarrassed to use the garbage can.
I know nothing. Nothing.
Although, you know, me and audio and electronics, I'm really into it. So I have wired up my own garbage can in honor of that story. So for the rest of the day, every time I throw something away, my garbage can does this.
I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts.
You have to wonder if they have the trash cans in saying all these things in a female voice. Maybe it's the men that have a worse problem with littering up there than the women do.
Could be. All right, let's see. That is our show for today. Coming up in the city of Chihuahua, we have the Farmers Market. That goes on from 11 o'clock to 3:30. Is there any other events that we should be tossing out that pop to mind?
Just the only one that I know of is the big yard sale coming up on the 25th and 26th up at the Northeast Washington Fairgrounds.
So that's next week, like Thursday and Friday.
And that will be in the PSAs for more information on that today if you want to get in there and get yourself a spot. I think they're 20 by 20. So then they have bigger spots available. But I have a phone number for information on that so that you can get signed up for that if you want to be involved.
It's all benefiting the Colville Food Bank, too, if you want to get involved. Yeah. So. All right. You'll have that on the noon calendar, I am sure, as we wrap up our week there. So thanks for tuning in this morning. A round of applause for Michelle Williams. And then if he woke up and he's tuned in, something for Phillip. We're going to have fun with him next Friday. And for you, thank you for tuning in. A big round of applause for our listeners. There you go. And I'll leave you like this just because I love Leslie Nelson. I almost said Willie Nelson, but I love him too. All right, say goodbye, Michelle.
Goodbye.
Bye. Have a great weekend and keep on listening to KCHW 102.7.
There's no way for a man to die. Yeah, you're right, Ed. A parachute not opening, that's the way to die. Getting caught in the gears of a combine, that's the way I want to go.